Everybody have their materials? All right, so today we've previously talked about transformations, and today we're going to talk about reflections. Reflections are a flip. And when you do a reflection, you can have 3 different types of reflections, and today we're going to focus on 2. One way is across the x-axis. So if I reflected it across this x-axis, it would create a mirror image. I'll show you it's a reflection. It's a mirror image, okay? Across the x-axis. If I were to reflect across, and in order to do that, all I would do is multiply each of my y coordinates by -1. If I was going to reflect across the y-axis, I'm going to multiply each x coordinate by -1. So this is a reflection across the y-axis, okay? It's a mirror image, and the y-axis divides the pictures. And finally, across the line where y equals x, or the origin. The x coordinate and the y coordinate switch places. So if you'll see this in Imagine Math, you won't see this in our practice today, but when you go on Imagine Math, it'll say y equals x, and you'll just know to switch the x and y. And so you would just rewrite the coordinates with the y first and the x second. So let's apply these rules to our first problem. It says to reflect each shape as described. It says the shape above has the following coordinates. The first coordinate is A is -4, 1. So -4 is to the left 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1 is up 1 unit. So this is point A. Point B is at -5, 9. So x is -5 and y is 9. So I go to the left 5 for -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I go up 9 for +9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is B. And obviously this is where -10 to, this is point C. And this is our pre-image. And what we're going to do is we're going to apply the rule to reflect the shape over the x-axis, and then we will create our image. So first we need to write our rule. And the rule is where x and y are the ordered pair, if I want to reflect over the x-axis, what am I going to do? I'm going to multiply the x-axis. Across the x-axis, multiply each y coordinate by -1. So I'm not going to do anything to my x coordinate, so I'm just going to put x, comma, and then multiply each y coordinate by -1. I'm going to write y times -1. Then I'm going to draw a table to organize my information. So I want you to draw an XY table. And I have 3 coordinates. So this is just to keep my information straight, because it does get kind of messy. Am I going to do anything to my x coordinates? No. They're just all going to carry over. So all these x coordinates, I'm just going to rewrite. So these are my x coordinates, and I had -4, -5, and -10. But with my y coordinates, what am I going to do? I'm going to multiply them by what? By -1. So I'm going to have y times -1. So then I'm just going to apply my rule. I have where x is -4, my y coordinate is 1. Then have times -1. Put in the calculator. Then I just have 1 times negative 1. What's the answer? It's negative 1. So my y becomes negative 1. Next, at point B, where x is negative 5, what's my y value? 9. So I have 9 times what? Negative 1. Put in the calculator. 9 times negative 1 is what? Negative 9. Are we noticing a pattern? And then at point C, where my x is negative 10, my y coordinate is what? 2. Thank you, Gonzalo. I appreciate your participation. And I multiply it by what? Negative 1. Negative 2. I'm sorry, that's not negative 2. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Okay, so I have my new coordinates. My x coordinates, nothing changed, but I have my new y coordinates. So I'm going to record my new coordinates. Let me get that on the screen. I'm going to record my new coordinates in my answer key. So I have negative 4, negative 1. I have B is now negative 5, negative 9. C is now negative 10, negative 2. And my rule is x, y. When I reflect it over the x-axis, x remains the same, and I multiply each y coordinate by negative 1. My final step is to plot my new points on the graph, and that will show you my image. So A becomes A prime, and it says negative 4, negative 1. So that is to the left 1, 2, 3, 4 points, and down 1. So this becomes A prime. B prime is negative 5, negative 9. So that's to the left 5 and down 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is B prime. Finally, point C. C prime is negative 10, 2. Go to the left 10. There's only 10 on here, so you go to the last one. And then negative 2 is down 2. And this is C prime. You're going to connect all of your points. You can use your reflections card as a straight edge to kind of help you. And I like to shade in just to show the difference. And this resulting figure, this is called my image. And that is a reflection over the x-axis. We're going to do another one. We're going to do number 2, which is a reflection over the y-axis. It says the shape above has the following coordinates. Point A is 5, x is 5, y is 2. Point B, x is 10, y is 0. Point C, x is 10, y is 6. And point D, x is 0, y is 10. So point A is 5, 2. This is point A. B is 10, 0. C is 10, 6. And of course, this will be point D. And again, this is my pre-image. Just get that vocabulary reinforced. And I'm going to reflect the shape over the y-axis. So this is different. When I reflect over the y-axis, I multiply each x-coordinate by -1. Okay? So my rule would be, when I have the ordered pair x and y, I'm going to multiply my x-coordinate by -1. My y-coordinate will remain the same. And this is when you reflect over the y-axis. So all of my changes, so all of the y's, these are going to stay the same. So I'm going to draw my table. And I'm just going to record my y's as they are because nothing's going to happen. Point A, I had y was 2. At point B, y was 0. Point C, y was 6. And at point D, y was 10. I'm sorry, it's getting a little crowded. With my x coordinates, I'm simply going to multiply my x coordinates times -1. So on point A, where I have 5, x is 5 times -1. Just put that in my calculator. No need to do anything in your head. 5 times -1 is -5. I don't doubt your intelligence to do things in your head, but when you have a way to verify that that's a 5, it looks like a 6 because of the ink. But this is a 5, I promise. You want to minimize your ability to make mistakes. That's what you want to do, and that's what the calculator does. With the handheld. So the x is 10 multiplied by -1. Put that in the calculator. 10 times -1 is what?
-10.
-10. Point C, the x value is 10 again. I mean, we just did 10 times -1. I think I'm comfortable just writing -10 without putting that in the calculator. We'll sneak one time. And then my final x value is 0 times -1, which is what? Is 0. And that would go right there. So let's write our new ordered pairs. A prime is now -5, 2. B prime is now -10, 0. C prime is -10, 6. And D prime is 0, 10. Our rule, as we have already written, where we have the ordered pair x, y, and we've reflected over the y-axis, x remains the same. I'm sorry, we multiply each x coordinate times -1, and y remains the same. Last thing we need to do is plot our points and draw our shape. A prime is -5, 2. So that is to the left 5 and up 2. This is A prime. B prime is -10, 0. So that is all the way over to the left on our graph, and we won't go up or down because 0, B prime. C prime would be -10, 6. Again, all the way to the left, and up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is point C prime. And finally, D prime is the same as D, which is 0, so we won't go right or left, and we'll go up 10. That's D prime. You can use your resource card as a straight edge to connect your dots and shade in your image. And we have made a mirror image of our pre-image, and it's divided by the y-axis. The y-axis is dividing the pictures.
We can't see.
I'm sorry. Thank you for letting me know. I don't like going all different directions. So how do you feel about reflections?
Great.
A little bit good, better, still confused?
Still confused. Still better.
All right, what I need you to do is you need to complete the rest of the problems. There are front and back sides, so there are 6 problems remaining. You need to complete as many problems as possible, and I prefer you finish all of them. How much time we have?